Day 25, November 13th. This morning we're hunting that ridge. I think we were in here on the 4th or 5th of November. And we had an action-packed hunt that morning. This whole ridge top is a bedding area. And the bucks know that. And they cruise through here. I mean, you can see them, I'm sure, anytime during the day, but usually the action starts to pick up about an hour after legal shooting time, and then it goes until, midday sometime. Usually. Hopefully that's the case this morning. We're falling into that lull now. Talked about it a little bit in yesterday's video blog, but there's about a 5-6 day period during the very middle of November when so many does are in estrus that the mature bucks just aren't moving at all. They hole up with the doe. They might stay with her for a day or two, breed her a few times, and then they go look for another one. And unless they look for that other one during the day, there's a pretty good chance that you're not going to see that deer. And eventually they snap out of it though. And that's what we're waiting for, of course, is the back end of that, when most of the does are bred. And then the mature bucks that are still feeling like they have some business to take care of, they're out cruising a little bit more again. During that time you can catch them again in the mornings, but we really focus on the food sources then because they're wore down, especially with this cold temperature. They're going to be looking for food. So that's kind of where we're at. Again, this morning is one of our better spots. This is an area where we do think that bladed 10 is living. We've had trail camera pictures of that deer in this area, not recently because I haven't had the cameras here, but going back to late October, this was part of his primary range. That's a deer we'd like to see. This morning would be a good time to see him. South wind, this ridge lays kind of, I guess it'd be southwest to northeast, and a south wind takes our scent right off the top, right over the top of this draw below us. And usually that works pretty well. It keeps our scent above the heads of the deer that are crossing down below. As cold as it is, there's no reason why they wouldn't move. The only reason that we won't have action is because we don't have a hot doe anywhere nearby. So hopefully we will. Looking back like he's running from something. Here he comes. Three-year-old of some sort. 10. I'm gonna see if I can call him in just for fun. I wasn't buying it.
That's a different deer.
Yeah. He's just not real big. No, he's at least 3. We're about ready to climb down. I talked about finding the right doe this morning when we first got here. We did have that right doe come past, but it was about maybe an hour after legal shooting time started. Pretty good amount of activity for a little bit there. And I couldn't tell for sure which buck was leading the chase. It was a little bit bigger deer, a little more mature, but it was so much of it was through the trees that we just didn't get a real good beat on who the lead buck was on that deal. We had a few others cruise through. I'm sure that having that hot doe in the area was enough to stir the rest of them up too. So we did see some buck activity this morning early, but it's been pretty dead now for a couple of hours. Had just a few does kind of milling around looking for places to bed, and that's been it. So we're gonna climb down and get some work done here during the middle of the day, and then we're gonna get back out again this afternoon. We haven't settled exactly yet on where we're gonna go. There's a few options that we've got, and once we get organized here at midday, we'll check back in and fill you in on our strategy of what we've got planned for the afternoon hunt.
Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cuddyback, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, and Realtree.
This afternoon we decided to go back to that same small corn plot where we're hoping that big 8-pointer will come out. This is the deer, once again, that we filmed back during the summer. We haven't seen him. We've gotten trail cam pictures of him a few times in October. We haven't seen him or gotten any trail cam pictures of him in November. But this is where he was living, back last time we knew. If there's any hope of seeing him, this is probably our best bet. And the corn is starting to get picked over pretty good, so we don't have a lot of options of waiting on this spot. If we're gonna hunt it, we need to hunt it pretty quick before they clean it out. So that's what we're gonna do, grab the stuff and jump into the redneck blind, and hopefully that 8-pointer comes out tonight. We've got an hour left, almost exactly an hour, and we have not seen a deer yet, which is kind of surprising because when we came in here, we could see where the deer had been working over the corn that was still left in this little spot. I mean, there's a lot of tracks out there. We'll just keep watching and we'll know in an hour. She's probably smelling us. I bet she is. Dang it. He hasn't lifted his nose. He's running this way. It's not going well. We've seen two does and a young buck cross the ridge further down to the northeast. Nothing up here around the corn at all. This is a tough time anyway, like I've talked. This is the part of the rut that is challenging every year. Drake and I were talking about it, and I can't think of a single mature buck. Probably I'll come up with one if I try hard enough, but I can't think of any mature bucks that I've killed in that time frame from about the 13th to the 18th. Everything kind of comes screeching to a halt, but we're going to continue here for the whole rest of the bow season. Our season ends, I think it's the 6th of December, the bow season does, and then the shotgun comes in. It's the 5th or the 6th. We're going to keep going until we either fill a tag or get to the end of it. So check back again tomorrow and we'll bring you some more action. Well, we'll bring you some more hunting. Hopefully we can bring you some more action too.